So how's your liberty today? Feeling pretty good? I'm kind of enjoying it too myself. I appreciate it very much. They asked me how many people would be here, and I said, I don't know, a couple of hundred, but I think we're probably well within that vicinity of that. And of all the things, my phone is just, melting down yesterday. I get a phone call and I don't recognize the number, and I'm kind of apprehensive to do that, to answer the phone. And the guy says, "Hey, Don, are you going to be carrying a gun?" And I said, I would not insult anyone's intelligence, so I think I'm only carrying one gun. So I am going to take one off here in just a moment. But folks, we are so fortunate in this state. I get aggravated at some people at times, and they'll say, "Oh, we've got politicians, they're all the same, they all do the same thing." And the fact is, no, they aren't. We've got some good legislators. In fact, they're statesmen, and that's statesmen and women that have helped us get to this point. 10 years ago, I was, maybe 11 years ago, I was trying to take a class at a VOTEC, and it was a felony for me to peacefully leave my gun in the car while taking an armed security guard class. I don't know how much more of an oxymoron you can get than that, but that's exactly what got me started here. I'd never walked into this building, I don't think, until I found out that the bill was, I requested a bill to be heard, and I went into a public safety meeting dressed in work boots, jeans, flannel shirt, and told them exactly what the situation was, that I want to be able to leave my gun in the car, and it came out of a committee vote 8-7. And I thought, so that's how this works. So to make a long story short, in that 10 years, we've had OK2A, with the help of the state legislature and the governors, we have actually had 8 felonies repealed for the peaceful possession of a firearm. It just cracks me up. And you guys, a lot of you guys know that my objective in life here in Oklahoma is take the stupid out of our Oklahoma gun laws. And we've had some good ones, because like I say, anytime that in previous, you could buy your own private bus, pull it on your own private property, and you step on that bus with a gun, you're committing a 10-year felony and a $10,000 fine. Folks, that's just stupid. No shortage of stupid. And so we've been able to not only remove that felony, but now you can leave your guns in your car when you go to your kids' event at a public or private school, and it's not a criminal act anymore. We've made sure that teachers in public and private schools would be able to carry with the permission of the heads of those areas. And we're going to continue to expand to remove the no-gun zone, because it is the most dangerous thing in America. So I'm real grateful. Like I said, I'm grateful we're here. Again, when I say 112 years, Oklahoma became a state in 1907, and the very first gun law was, you shall not carry a pistol, rifle, or shotgun on or about your person or in a purse, loaded or unloaded. That's the very first law. Today, that has changed. Today that has changed, and like I say, with the good work of some legislators I'm getting ready to acknowledge here in just a moment, but like I say, these things don't happen by accident. And like I said, I tell people this, and they think I'm crazy, but whatever at this point. I did this absolutely selfishly. I did this, but I also know that when one person does something that should be done, others benefit from it. So for us to be able to open carry without the permission of the government today, I'm telling you, as selfishly as I can, but I did that for me, but I know the whole state can benefit from that. And so if anyone says, oh, he's doing this all for the state, no, folks, I did it for me first. I did it for me first, but I knew it would bless us all and restore this all for all of us. Now at this point, Pastor, if you'd hand me that first one, if you would, Nathan, Dom. Yes. And we're doing this a little bit sped up for the fact that legislators have to be in 2 places at the same time sometimes, and today's one of those days. So, yeah, Marlene, you're ready, right? Okay. State Senator Nathan Dom, sir, if you would make your way up here. Now, for those of you that pay a little bit of attention, he got a bigger office just so he could put our OK2A awards up on his wall. State Senator Nathan Dham, you may recall last year, but it was Senate Bill 1212, which was constitutional carry, which was vetoed, but still he made sure it was put on the desk. And I cannot thank you enough for not only that bill, but this guy is a hawk for the Constitution, period. So be that as it may, State Senator Nathan Dham also worked to help us get this year's constitutional carry, plus other things through. And it's like good men just like this is why we're so fortunate to set Oklahoma back on the state, on the direction that it should have never, ever been away from. And that's to reinstate the constitutional rights in this state. And so peaceful, law-abiding citizens, just like you are today, can peacefully gather, exercise this right, because this right ultimately protects all the other rights. Period. So, Senator Dham, this is our Senior Minuteman of the Year award, and it's going to Senator Nathan Dham in highest recognition and appreciation to the legislator who was the most aggressive defender of return of our God-given right and self-preservation by authoring and advancing legislation that reflects support for the U.S. Constitution and Oklahomans' Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. This year we're presenting this to Senator Nathan Dham. You go right there, sir. Yeah, you bet. Do we need to come out in the sun? Right out in the sun, you bet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a great day in Oklahoma, isn't it? A historic day, and you all helped make that happen. I know it's cold out, and so I'll be brief, or at least as brief as an elected official can be. And actually, I do have to get back up to Tulsa to speak up there at noon, so appreciate Don accommodating me and getting me here at the front of this. But I just wanted to talk about a couple of things and hit on some things. We're here in front of the State Capitol building, where often we hear debates and conversations about what are the core functions of government. We hear that all that time, that phraseology. What are the core functions of government? And I am keen on reminding people of what the Declaration of Independence says. It talks about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we all know that. But the very next phrase in the Declaration says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted. That is the core principle, main function of government, to secure our rights. That is what government should be about. And today in Oklahoma, we are celebrating the restoration and the securing of our right to keep and bear arms. It's a historic day. But there's been a lot of battles, like Don mentioned, to get to this point. From my very first bill that I know Don was a huge supporter of. Everybody else told me not to do it, but Don said, go ahead. When I named my permitless carry bill, the Piers Morgan Constitutional Right to Keep and Bear Arms Without Infringement Act, which he was not a fan of for some reason. That was a fun experience, but it was a little bit of a battle. But throughout the process of getting this bill passed, over the 7 years that I've been in the legislature, we faced other battles. Whether it was committee chairmen who refused to hear a bill to restore our constitutional rights, or a Republican governor who was willing to break her word, violate her campaign promise, and veto the right of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms. We've been through a lot of battles together, but today we celebrate being victorious. I bring that up, though, because it's important that we realize, like President Reagan said, that freedom is not free. It comes at a cost. It is not passed down through the bloodline. Future generations will benefit from what we do or do not end up doing. We have to fight for freedom and liberty. We have a huge victory today in restoring constitutional carry, but there are plenty of people out there that are trying to further infringe upon our rights. There are Republicans advocating and trying to advance red flag laws, which not only violate the Second Amendment, they violate the majority of the Bill of Rights. They violate due process. They violate the right of the property rights. They violate the opportunity to face your accusers, to have witnesses on your behalf. It violates so many of our rights. And so for those that are advocating for red flag laws, I would remind you of the history of the first attempt at confiscation of firearms in this land. It was something that became known as the Battle of Lexington and Concord, or the shot heard round the world, which sparked a revolution and the creation of this country founded on liberty, founded on individual rights, founded on that core function of government where government is supposed to protect our rights. But that's not all. There are other people who will talk about and say, well, the Second Amendment, we need, common sense gun control measures. Nobody needs an AR-15. Nobody needs an AK-47. To those people, I will tell you, my need and my necessity is none of your business, because this is about a right to keep and bear arms that shall not be infringed. It's not about a need, it's not about a want, it's not about a necessity. I have the right to keep and bear arms, and I will fight to defend that right. Then there are others who sometimes will say, well, you know what, the Second Amendment is about hunting. To those people, I will say, you are right, but not in the way that you think you're right. The Second Amendment is about hunting. The Founding Fathers put the Second Amendment in there for hunting, but they put the Second Amendment in there to be able to hunt tyrants. That's what the Second Amendment is about. So for those, I would remind you that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So please take heed to that and know that there are those that are willing to stand for our rights to keep and bear arms. We are here to celebrate this historic day. Going forward, here in the state of Oklahoma, our history books will say that on November 1st, 2019, the state of Oklahoma stood together and said that we are here to protect our citizens' rights to keep and bear arms, that fundamental inherent right. Thank you for what all you did to make this happen. Thank you, OK2A, Don Spencer. God bless you all. God bless this great state. Thank you.